Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video with the new best EZA TUR in the game, being the new EZA Trunks and Goten. It means we have to try them out against the most difficult content in the game, and we're doing exactly that by trying them out against Supreme Magnificent Battle. Don't know why I struggled with that. Beast Gohan. Now this rotation actually works out pretty well for us, because we actually have no attacks in slot 1, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in slot 2. I'm going to hope the friend Carnival Strength LR Gohan doesn't do too much damage to the point where this first phase we just fly through, because I want Trunks and Goten to, of course, either be hit or for them to dodge all of them attacks in slot 2, which, I mean, if they don't dodge, they're going to be hit. But that's the beauty of their passive, and that's why I love it so much, and it actually works really well for them, no matter the style of the content you're in, because it's so quick and easy to build up. We definitely got those 70% chances pop, doing a 12 million super attack with no build up whatsoever, by the way. So we definitely had them. I mean, I'll take the double. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? And now, there's one. There's two. I mean, they're dodging. They only had 30% to start with. There's three. So that's 3 attacks. That's 3 attacks, which means only 2 more. And we got their passive fully built up of all the extra attack and defense, but more importantly, that dodge. And again, that's what I was saying. That's why I love how their passive builds up, because it just builds up so quickly. Giving them an either-or condition of they can dodge it or be hit was perfect, because it means they only need to be hit 5 times. Or should I say, technically, they only need to be attacked 5 times. Because again, they can either be hit or they can dodge. So they only need to be attacked 5 times and it's already built up, which is quick anyway. But then the fact you give them an either or condition of actually taking a hit or dodging it means they build that passive up even quicker, even though it was already quick to begin with. So you can end up building it up literally in one singular turn, or building up by their second appearance on turn 2, which is perfect. I mean, obviously, depending on attacker placement, you could get quite unfortunate in terms of build up, and they might not, you know, you might get unlucky and have them in slot 2 and there's literally only 1 attack or 2, or sometimes in some scenarios, which most of the time you'd say this is a good thing, there's only 2. Oh, sorry, there's no attacks in slot 2, should I say. Now, you can get unfortunate with that, but the fact that you can build it up so quickly, massive fan of that. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm running the team I'm running, or the way I'm running it, which is essentially Trunks and Goten are on a 170 lead, and then, of course, the Carnival Strength LR Gohan is giving them the 200%. The reason for that is, of course, the bottom half of their passive, where they get the 30% damage reduction, which is the main thing we want. The crit chance is nice, don't get me wrong, because it means they can crit most of the time and do big damage. But the main thing, of course, I wanted is the 30% damage reduction. Just to kind of help them a bit on super attacks, you know, just bulk them out a bit more on normals. Where, of course, we need Kamehameha category units, which isn't really a struggle to do on movie heroes, because, I mean, it's still a good team. There's a lot of units that go on the Kamehameha category on that team. However, it does mean I kind of need to bring the Goten and Trunks, the 2 separate EZAs, because a lot of the units that belong on Kamehameha, but also movie heroes, they've aged quite a bit. You know, you're looking at the year 7s, which, I mean, in a few months' time, going into next year, they're probably going to be one of the best EZAs in the game. You know, Birdcoo's kind of aged a bit at this point. You know, as I said, they're just not that great anymore, or they're not really suited for this, and you're going to have to protect them a bit. And if I bring Goten and Trunks, yes, they are very good. However, of course, those 2 EZAs need a Goten and a Trunks unit, respectively, for them to get their full damage reduction. And I mean, naturally, they start with 50%, but because they're a side EZA, it's only going to do so much against the hardest enemies in the game, and we've seen how hard they hit. So it's a little bit too risky. So while they are good and the team would work, because they would non-stop be floating, it means every so often those 2 EZAs are going to miss out on their full damage reduction, which definitely does hurt them quite a bit, which means we could easily die. And essentially, because I'm missing a lot of Goten and Trunks' or technically it's the other way around, EZA, Trunks, and Goten's 200% leads, mainly, as I said during their showcase, the 2 Superclass Worldwide units, I'm missing them. Because I'm missing a lot of their 200% leads, especially ones that bring a lot of the Kamehameha units onto one category or onto one team and bring them all together, it means getting Fizz EZA, Trunks, and Goten's damage reduction, while also having the 2 individual EZA, Goten, and Trunks is getting their full damage reduction. It makes it a little bit more difficult and it really restricts the team. So an easy way for me to do that and have a ton of Kamehameha category units constantly flying about the team, or essentially on the turn with them, is to have them on a 170 lead and then bring a 200% lead Strength Carnival or Gohan friend. So they are missing the 30% extra HP attack and defense, but it does mean we can build the team out a bit better and again constantly have that damage reduction on them at all times, which ends up working out a lot better, especially for them, and the team works out a bit better as well. But hey, we have seen them at their best, and if they are completely fine on a team like this, I mean, which they will be because we do have a lot of great units on the team, then, you know, it kind of doesn't matter that we don't have 2 200% leads. But I mean, they're performing well as it is. I mean, they do still fully need to build up. I mean, we do need to take or dodge 2 more hits, because I'm pretty sure we took 3 on their first appearance, so only 2 more and they're fully built up. Which, I mean, I could actually take the risk of putting them in slot 1, but then that's a little bit of a risk. Because while they do have their 30% damage reduction, I mean, they also have 358k defense, which isn't enough, because they get all their stats primarily on super, but I could actually take the risk, because what? They've built up 3 parts of their passive. So technically right now, they do have 60% chance to dodge, which can go one of 2 ways. They're either going to dodge most of it, or they're going to dodge hardly any of it. I'm not entirely sure what I want to go for. They are actually super attacking in slot 1, so I mean that is also a massive risk as well. A massive risk. But we're going to use Gohan's active skill, or standby, just to essentially bulk him out, because there's no one else to really go in slot 1. Haven't actually used this, because I haven't brought him as a friend for anything. But it does mean we can let Trunks and Goten stay in slot 2. It does also mean they won't fully be built up by the time we get into the final phase, which is a little bit annoying. And this is what I mean, their passive is really quick to build up. Like really quick, which makes them, as I say, good for any format of content, long or short, or that kind of in between. But it does also mean, as I said, if the attack placement isn't too generous with them being in slot 2 or even slot 3, depending on what team you bring in and what type of units you bring in, it does mean that if we don't have too many attacks of where they're sitting, then we miss out on building their passive up really quickly. Not that it's that much of an issue, but of course you kind of want those extra stats and more importantly that 80% chance to dodge as quick as possible, just so you have it. One thing about this team set up the way it is though, even though as a collective it's probably a bit better, it means we don't actually get to use their active skill. Okay, I can live with that. I can live with that. I can live with... I mean, for one, that's getting popped, but I can live with Tech UI being locked in slot 2. I can live with that. Because we've got EZA, AGL, UI, Goku in slot 1, and what's the chances that he doesn't dodge, right? What's the chances that he don't dodge, right? Like, he'll be fine, surely. Surely. Well, we just have to hope for the best. So let's start picking up some orbs. But yeah, it does mean that Trunks and Goten don't have their active skill because we don't have another Trunks and Goten on the team. Dodge. Love that. Because we don't have another Goten and Trunks unit on the team, it does mean we literally cannot use their active skill. Which I can't lie, against Beast would have been really useful because then we could have had guaranteed dodge. Which, no matter where they get locked, especially if they got locked in slot 1, which is of course where you don't want them to be, we could literally be like, right, okay, no item needed, no Sensu Bean to get rid of the lock-in, it's no instant death, we use their active, bang. Bang, we have guaranteed dodge, the super attack misses, we're not dead. They don't even get stunned, and we can carry on like normal. So that's a massive counter to Beast lock-in, especially, as I said, if they did get locked in slot 1. But because I've built the team the way I've built it, we don't even get to use it. But that is why I brought Senzu Beans with us. Is that way we can get rid of the lock-in, which of course everyone absolutely hates, especially me. And it also means I don't use Whis, so I can actually see what type of numbers they're tanking for. The only thing is he gonna be okay? Because he's barely made an appearance during this run. So are you gonna be okay? Oh, or you could dodge. Eee! Or you could dodge again. I can't lie, he's coming in clutch there, but damn. I mean, they didn't get locked, but I mean, we could literally just do this. Which I'm pretty sure Goten and Trunks still have one more attack. One more attack for them to build up their passive. So they do have 70% chance to dodge right now. So I can't lie. I'm going to put them in slot 1. I'm going to put them in slot 1. And the fact you can also run them with Tech UI is also a good thing because, damn, I probably shouldn't have used that. Because it means any enemy that decides, oh yeah, we're going to cancel dodge. If they're on the same team as Tech UI, one of the biggest parts of Trunks' Goten and kit that makes them so good is the fact they almost have guaranteed dodge at 80% once their passive is built up. Because it means they can benefit from the domain and they will have their dodge back. Just like that. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't matter that we actually done so much damage. Because, I mean, we know what type of damage these guys can put out. It's just mainly how they tank. Double digits after the super attack. I mean, we barely got to see anything. But we saw enough. Double digits on a normal. The main thing you want them to do against any of the most difficult enemies in the game is literally what they did, which, sure, they didn't get super attacked, but if they did, that's exactly what we would have wanted them to do, which is why I put them in slot 1, which is dodge. Which at 80%, they're going to be doing that more often than not. But there we go. EZA, Trunks, and Goten against Supreme Magnificent Battle Beast. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great rest of your day, and peace.